All right, we are live with RCW episode 12, season 3. So, I made a slight change to the schedule. I still have to update it on my Twitch. I'll be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2 o'clock. Unless specified otherwise. And the reason being is because I get home earlier on those days. I get home earlier. So I don't necessarily have to stream at 4 o'clock. And usually with all the homework that I have, I can always do it later. Unless I have like some essay or something, whatever. So welcome to the show. In case you're brand new here and you've never seen this before and you're wondering what the heck's going on. No, you didn't miss anything, Anna. I just started. So in case you're new here and you have no idea what the hell is going on, this is a show that I started last August. And this is a show that I put my heart and soul into, and this is a show to give you guys being wrestling fans, you didn't miss anything. No, you didn't. I just started, so you're all good. You're all good. You did not miss anything. I gotta find my phone. There it is. Because I always get notifications when something pops up on my phone, and I want to make sure I got my phone on me in case anything happens. You know, you never know. I don't like to look at my phone when I'm streaming because that's disrespectful to you guys, so I don't like to do that. But in case you're new here, this is a show that I put my heart and soul into. It's a wrestling show that I started last August, and I've loved it ever since. There are 3 seasons. We're in the 3rd one. Every season is 20 episodes long, except for, I believe, season 1 and season 1. And the reason why season 1 is only 6 episodes long is because I wanted to test this out and see if it was something that I wanted to do religiously, like wanted to do, and you know, like you never want to get too far into something if you don't find yourself enjoying it. And you know, if you don't enjoy it, then why the hell are you doing it in the first place? You know, so I wanted to do something like this, and you know, I never thought that this show would turn into what it is. And honestly, this show has inspired me to go to college to become a commentator in wrestling IRL. You know, maybe not WWE, but you know, there's tons of indie promotions out here in New York near me. And actually, my English professor told me today that she knows a person that is in the same program as me, in the same major, media and communication arts, who wants to get into the same thing. And I'm joining my radio club at school, and basically what it is we have our own radio station that plays through the county that I live in. And it's a radio station that people can actually tune to on their radios, in their cars, or on their phones. I guess we have an app for it. And people can play music. People can do talk shows. You know, if you've ever listened to radio before in your entire life, you pretty much know the lingo. You pretty much know what I'm talking about. You know, I listen to the B Morning Coffee Club with Terry Stephen Newman, 92.5 WBEE Country Station, 106.5 WYRK. You know, there's tons of radio stations that I listen to, not just because of the music, but solely because of the radio DJs. And if you know Sirius XM, or at least where I live, Sirius XM is satellite radio, so they don't have to block out the swear words, so they don't have to block out swear words because you actually pay for it. It's not public radio waves, so you actually pay for it. And there's this girl called Shannon Guns that's on Octane, and she's a radio DJ for Octane, and I love her. She's kind of cool. I could do commentary for something else and then work up to WWE. Yeah, you know, I could do that. Yeah, I'd love... I thought about it. But anyways, with that said, my buddies, I made a couple of friends at my college within the next few days, and I just started college 2 days ago. And I made a couple friends already, and we talked about joining the radio club because a lot of my buddies that I made friends with, they want to get into sports broadcasting. Maybe not wrestling, but you know, they want to get into the sort of the same idea, like commentate football, commentate hockey, whatever. And I was telling one of my friends in my communications class that, you know, hey, there's this radio club, and I was thinking about doing a talk show on wrestling. And actually, my teacher for those classes, because I have her twice for 2 different classes, she's actually the advisor for it. So I was going to run an idea by her and about this talk show idea that I have. So it would be like this, so to speak, except the matches aren't happening as I'm talking over it. So basically, my idea for the talk show for this radio station is where we talk about the Royal Rumble, you know, pay-per-views, the pay-per-views, the Royal Rumble, you know, matches, storylines. You know, I could talk about wrestling for hours, you know, and that's not including RCW. That's including WWE, ROH, IWF, indie promotions. You know, I could talk. I could talk about Paige for hours and her rivalries and Stone Cold and The Rock and all those guys. So if I can do it for hours in a everyday conversation with somebody, then I should be able to do it on the radio. So that's what I think I'm gonna do. Hopefully, also maybe I'll be able to talk about this on the radio, like the RCW on the radio, so that people know about what I do, and hence get more viewership on my show, and possibly make RCW into a real thing instead of something out of a video game. But with that said, I just thought I'd tell you guys, you know, what's going on and everything. By the way, I want to tell you guys this story as I get this going here. So, in English class today, we did these introductions, where our teacher said, okay, we want you to tell your name, where you're from, what major you're in, and what you want to do in your life that you haven't yet. And there's this girl that is in my class. She is from a town that's really close. Well, not really close, but relatively close, not too far. Maybe an hour or 2 away. And she said she has a British or maybe Aussie accent, like an Australian or British accent. And I knew it as soon as she started talking, because I was trying to pinpoint what accent it was, because Aussies and Brits sound very similar in terms of the accent. And she said that she was from Syracuse, and she's actually said that she's lived in all 50 states of the United States. She's lived in every single state. And it's kind of weird, because she said that in her family, she's the only one that has that accent. And I just thought it was kind of cool. Like, because when she said the word a lot, it sounded like British. It sounded a little British. So I thought that was really cool. And she's cute too, so that's even a bigger plus. But I just thought it was kind of interesting. I was just like, really? You're not from England, and you're not from Australia, but you have that accent. You have both of them. I don't know what it is, because it's a combination of both. It really sounds like a combination of British and Australian, and it sounds really cool, honestly. And honestly, I didn't want her to stop talking, because, you know, because she just sounded cool. I thought it sounded cool the way her accent was, you know. And most of the people that I go to college with, they're from the town that I was born in. So it was kind of cool, because the town that I was born in, it was a really small town, so everybody knows everybody. And so if you did something bad, everyone knew who you were. So pretty much probably everybody knows who my dad is. My dad passed away when I was young, but my dad was from that area. And my dad did a lot of bad things. He got arrested for like a faulty check or something like that. So my name, my last name, pretty much everybody would know me because of my last name. But just a little tidbit I thought I thought you guys would find interesting. So we have Luna Outlaw versus Sasha Banks here. Now, we haven't heard from Luna Outlaw or Sasha in a while, and so, you know, I thought bring these ladies up here. And Luna definitely wants a shot at the women's title that's held by her sister, Sky Outlaw. I mean, wouldn't it be interesting to see two siblings fighting it out for the championship? Am I going to flirt with her at some point? Damn right I am. You're damn right I am. You know, because if any of you know me, you don't even need to know me personally. Like, go on my Instagram or go on, you know, my Twitter. I love all the wrestlers that have accents. All the female wrestlers that have accents. I find accents probably one of the most attractive things about anybody. I don't know, it's just a little tidbit that I find attractive, and she is attractive, like, looking regardless. And usually, a lot of people with accents are just automatically attractive to me. So, you know, so I'll definitely get to know her. Not just because she's cute, but because, you know, I just find her cool. Because she's been to every single state. So she's been to, like, Grand Canyon and, you know, the stuff that you dream of seeing, she has seen. So I would definitely like to get to know her and, you know, whatever. And it's fun because, like, literally, some of the guys that go to my college know guys that I went to school with. And it's crazy. Oh, I'm like, oh, you know him? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. You know, because like I said, you know, when you live in a small town where everybody knows everybody, it's really easy to make friends, you know, but it's also easy to lose them at the same time. So it's a double-edged sword. But, you know, my first couple days are going pretty well. So I'd like to just leave an announcement in case all of you don't know already at this point. As Luna hits dawning on Sasha Banks here. So, depending on, as she wins the match, I didn't think she was going to win the match off that move. But depending on what I have for homework. You know how I have a schedule, like I had a schedule when I was in college at my other college. And I had the schedule. Oh, I guess we have Violet Knight coming in here. Jesus, I gotta focus for a minute. Violet Knight from Manchester, England. She's trying to ambush Luna. I have to focus here for a minute. I have no idea what she's doing here, but she is one of our newest signees. She is from Manchester, England, wrestled all over the world, and she is looking to make a statement against Luna Outlaw, but I don't think that's working out for her, as Luna definitely has eyes in the back of her head, and dawning on Violet. Looks like that didn't work for Violet, but made a statement either way. But anyways, before I start the next match, I want to get my story out so I can focus on the next match. What was I saying? What was I saying? Damn it. Something about, you know, when you're in a town that knows everybody, you know, it's sort of like, you know, it's easy to make friends, and it's crazy. I actually met another one of my friends that I went to school with, which is cool. So I'm reuniting with some of my old friends that I went to school with, which is pretty awesome. And, you know, the fact that I can possibly open the door to my career field by getting experience in broadcasting, by talking for a couple hours on a radio station, like, that's awesome. And it is an actual legit radio station that you can tune into on your car. And in one of the classes that I have, we're going to learn about net neutrality and YouTube and Twitch and streaming platforms. You know, how people are... So we're going to learn a lot more about this stuff. You know, because YouTube and Twitch... Mixer's getting up there. Mixer is Microsoft's equivalent to, like, Twitch. But Twitch and YouTube have been around for forever. Especially YouTube. And people stream on Twitch and YouTube all the time. So it's going to be interesting to actually learn about that from a mass media job perspective, you know. And I'm not saying, like, talking about, like, doing Twitch and YouTube full time, which I know some people who do that, and I congratulate those who actually make it work. But the one thing I liked how my professor said this, she was like, with media and communications, with a degree in this major, with a degree in this program, you have literally an abundance of jobs that you can get into. It's not so narrow, you know what I mean? It's not so narrow to where you only have a selection few of jobs that you can get into. Like, it's not like one of those things where you're either this or you're nothing else. And it's also one of those jobs that it's, because it's so broad, there's less competition in it. So you have a better chance of getting a job out of it. Because, let's face it, with technology, with Facebook, with Twitter, with Twitch, with YouTube, with the media, with the whole entire media part of it and streaming and all this other crap, like, there are tons of jobs out there that have to do with it. So, you know, even if you don't get a job in wrestling, which that's exactly what I want to do, there are tons of indie promotions out here. There are tons of wrestling promotions out here that need commentators, that need script writers, that, you know, anything having to do with sports, other than the athlete perspective, there's a lot of things you can do with it. Like, people think, oh, you know, being a commentator doesn't matter. You know, a lot of people that I know, when they watch football, they hate the commentators, and I do too. But, you know, watching wrestling and hearing, you know, Michael Cole, or, you know, even the guys on that on NXT UK, you know, just seeing that happen live, like, I go nuts when I see somebody hit somebody with a steel chair, or, you know, somebody dive off of a steel cage or whatever. But imagine watching that as it's happening. And I mean, it's sort of like what I do now with the RCW stuff, but it's all in a video game. Like, that's a little bit different. But actually watching a real wrestler do that to somebody else, it's exhilarating, you know, whether or not you like wrestling or not. In my opinion, it's exhilarating. And, you know, I met a couple guys that are wrestling fans, and so we think about starting our own talk show to just talk about wrestling. That's it. And obviously we have to obey the FCC rules, which are... The FCC is a company that is in charge of anything that you listen to. Music, television. It's why you can't drop F-bombs on television, because the FCC says you can't. They actually said that you can say, like, asshole on television now, apparently. You can say that now. And they're sort of becoming, like, less lenient, I guess. But, you know, and that's understandable. Like, you know, you gotta obey rules. You know, there's always rules to something. But, you know, being able to talk about wrestling, but talk about it with other people, and to do it broadcasting-wise, like, that's really cool. Like, if I'm sitting there talking about what happened on Raw last night, and the storylines that could possibly happen because of it, You know, even when I'm talking to this about with friends and stuff, it's still fun. But imagine doing it with a couple of your friends next to you with microphones, and you're on the air, like, in front of your entire county, hypothetically, and you're talking about it. You know, it's awesome, and I think it's going to be a really good opportunity. So tomorrow, I'm going to definitely talk to my professor, because she is the advisor for it. I'm going to run the idea by her and see what she likes, see if she digs it. You know, because you got to run the idea. I'm not even signed up for the club. And the reason being is because I want more info out of it. So that's why I want to talk to her about it and see if it's something that I can actually do, rather than it be by myself. Like, I'd rather... Maybe we could talk about all sports, like football and basketball and baseball, because I follow pretty much all the sports there is. You know, even if I'm not a fan of them, I still know what's going on. And my buddy is a huge hockey fan, so him and I could talk about hockey and what's going on with that, and the trades, and how the Sabres are doing, local sports and stuff like that. So we could talk about that and stuff. You know, so there's tons of stuff that can happen. But, you know, I just figured I'd tell you guys, you know, what's going on, because, you know, it's having to do with this to a certain extent. And, you know, and you guys honestly inspired me to do it. I wouldn't be going to college for this if I didn't start RCW. If I didn't start RCW and I didn't realize how good I am at this, and if you guys weren't giving me compliments, like saying, like, your show is better than WWE. And I even told guys in my college that I'm doing this, and they think it's really cool and really fun. So I might actually be able to invite some of my college buddies here and get guest commentators on the show. You know, that's something that I've always wanted to do, that I've wanted to do for a while now, so we might actually be able to do that. So it's fun. It's really fun. And I'll just give the guys the script, and you know, write script and write storylines, and have guys be more involved with it. And I think it's really cool. Like I said, you know, I could possibly promote my show through this radio station, and, you know, get guys to join in on this show. So it would be fun to do that. And so, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm doing. As we get into our next match here, I apologize for going on a tangent. I just thought that I'd tell you guys, you know, what's kind of going on, and it's got something to do with this, so, you know, figured do it. You know, so we have the Usos versus Alexander Wolf and Eric Young of Sanity. So Sanity had a tag team title opportunity, but came up short. It was with Mata 619 and the team of Black Hole, I believe. But that's when we encountered that title bug. We also have the DLC coming out. So the first range of DLC is coming out the 22nd, and Dakota Kai is going to be in it. And I know I said I wasn't going to buy any of the DLC, but I love Dakota Kai. I love Dakota Kai, so I would love to use her for RCW. I think she would be great. She's also really hot too, so I wouldn't mind using her. But I don't know. I might think about it. So we have the Usos, newly crowned tag team champions, versus the Hardys at the Envy pay-per-view. Please tell me I fixed the whole title thing, because I don't think I did. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't fix that. I didn't fix that. I did not fix that. I apologize. It says RCW Tag Team Championship instead of Champions, so I have to edit that, but that's a fix that I can do. And I realized over the years of watching women's wrestling, like, how it's been revolutionized and how they're doing more with the women now. It's insane what they are doing, so. I was happy that Nikki Cross debuted on Raw. I don't think that was on TV, though. I don't remember if that was on TV or not. I don't think it was. But I was happy that Nikki Cross is on Raw. I don't think she's actually signed to Raw yet. But she's supposed to come to the main roster soon. So the Uso look to continue their momentum as tag team champions here. A kick right to the midsection. Another kick to the midsection. A slap to Alexander. Lifts him up here, but Alexander now looking to possibly gain some momentum with a win. If Sanity can win over the Usos, that would definitely put them in the title picture, possibly for a future title opportunity. But we have a new tag team. In case you haven't watched the last episode, I highly suggest you do. We have a new tag team that was added to the tag team division called the Outlaws, and you know them pretty well. Jason and Brian Outlaw, they are now a tag team. I hope you guys really enjoy that. I posted it on my Instagram. I gotta post it on the page. I gotta get on top of that Facebook page thing again. So I have to do that. But I have some screenshots that I can post to the page that I guarantee you guys will like. We also had Miles Anderson make his debut in a steel cage match against Chris Danger, in which Miles Anderson, or as some people call him, the Ghost, Miles Anderson, he escaped the steel cage and beat Chris Danger, which I thought that was a great match. And I'm excited to have him here. We also have Jax Donovan making his debut soon. We had Violet Knight come out just in the first match, as you just seen there. So her debut is not going to be too far away. And the thing is, like, I think with going back to what I was saying before about, you know, college, I think with college going forward, I think I'm only going to take 2 classes every day. Because I actually take 12 credits. And 12 credits is like the bare minimum for a full-time student, because I get financial aid from the college. You know, I get financial aid, so basically I get my money like refunded, or the money that I use to like buy books and stuff gets like reimbursed to me. And so 12 credits is full-time, so if you're not a full-time student, your financial aid kind of gets messed up, because you don't get all your money back if you're not a full-time student. So it really, so I think I'm gonna take 2 classes per day, because I enjoy it, because it gives me time to stream, and I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays anyway, so it allows me to be to stream earlier. It also allows me to be home earlier, so I definitely enjoy that. We got a single leg Boston Crab coming up here on Eric Young. Can Eric Young hang on? I thought Eric Young was going to tap out here. He might tap out. And the arms. Wrenching on the arms. Almost had Eric there. Almost had him. Still, again, he's been in this submission for a while now. I don't know how long he can hang on for. Almost had him. And Eric's able to get out of it. Wow, I thought Jimmy would have been able to get him, but trying to go to his corner. But able to reverse. Oh, he made the hot tag. I don't think Jimmy realized that he was going for the hot tag, and now Alexander's in. Oh, but both men going for a move, and guess a little bit of miscommunication there. Both men trying to go for a move, and both end up missing. And a side suplex there. But I would think that Jimmy's got to tag in his brother now. Yeah. Jimmy's definitely tagging in his brother Jay. And now Jay's in this match freshest man in this matchup here. Jimmy has been pretty much in this match entirely until he just tagged in his brother, so his brother has got to be in here for a little bit, and now Eric Young is back on the apron. Imagine if Sanity knocks off the tag team champions here. That would be pretty good for their resume. Wow, and plants Alexander. Good job stopping the hot tag there. Jay has definitely got to get out of the corner of Eric Young. He wants him back. He's definitely going to want Alexander to be in either in the middle of the ring or closer to his corner. We have Jimmy Uso laying out on the apron. He gets off. Slams him back into the ring. Alex trying to find his way back to a vertical base. Little bit of glitched in between the ropes here. Leapfrog over. And a cross body, it appears. Or at least I think that's what it was. Jumping cross body. Looked like one. Ooh, and a reversal by Alexander. And wow! Jay able to reverse that one too. Very on top. Oh no. What's Jay going for here? I don't think I've seen this before. Suicide dive over the top rope. And Jay is fired up. I've never seen that, so that was actually really kind of cool. Oh, they have the same signature, huh? Can't pin somebody on the outside. I thought they had different signatures, but I guess they have the same one. It would make sense since they're twins. It would make sense for them to have the same, similar moveset. What's their finisher? Oh, the finisher is a super kick! I can't believe I don't remember that. I love the Usos, and I still forget that was their finisher. Tags in Jimmy. Probably going for another super kick. And another... Oh, no! Not another super kick. Alexander able to reverse that one. I think that was a mistake by Jay. He should have pinned him there. Should have pinned him there. Now Alexander looking to slam Jimmy down. Going for the pin here. I don't think we've seen a pin yet from Sanity. Just a 1 count. Jimmy's got that finisher payback in his pocket. Oh no, another single leg Boston Crab perhaps happening. In the middle of the ring though, too. Perfect position. But realizing that Alex can kick out of it, he decides to get out. And a super kick to Alexander. Another super kick. And the comeback starts now. Oh, I messed up. I forgot it's different in tag matches. I forgot it's different. It's not the same buttons. It's not the same. Oh, I screwed it up, guys. I screwed it up. I'm sorry. I screwed it up. Pushes Alexander or Eric away. I forgot that Eric tagged in. What's up, Bear Bear? How's it going? Welcome to the show. Throws Jimmy Uso outside the ring. Countouts are. You saw my video on what I want in 2K20. Yeah, you know, it was a pretty good video. I like doing that. That was like a little mini. Most of the stuff that I put in there, I will admit, were in previous games. And a lot of people did not like that, you know, that I just said, bring back stuff that was already in the game. But honestly, the thing that I never understood is why they took out a lot of the stuff that was in 2K16 and 2K, 17 and or previous games that was all right that probably just needed to be tweaked. But they decided to take it out completely. But I hope some of those things that I mentioned in that video are back in. Is Jimmy Uso, or I believe, yeah, that is Jimmy. I always forget who they are, like between the twins, because it's hard to tell them apart sometimes. Looking for the single leg Boston Crab on Eric Young. Eric's still trying to hang on. Just wrenching on the arms and leg. And another super kick to Eric Young. And now this time, finally goes for the pin. And somehow, Alex did not break that up, and the Usos win this match. The tattoos are the easiest way to tell them apart, yeah. I always remember, because Jimmy is the one that's married to Naomi, so I always remember that. Speaking of that, I love the storyline right now that's going on between the Usos and Mandy Rose. How Mandy Rose is like trying to seduce Jimmy Uso or something like that. It reminds me of the Attitude Era a little bit with Trish Stratus and how she would try and seduce everybody. I love Mandy Rose, by the way. I don't care if I'm married or not. I'd still go after her. I don't care. I know that makes me sound like a terrible person. Yes, I do have custom wrestlers. I do. I have a lot of them in this show. I have one for myself, actually. Yeah, pretty much everything is custom in this show, except for some of the wrestlers. Everything is, like, made by me. Like, all the arenas, all the pay-per-views, and some of the attires for the actual wrestlers that were scanned in-game, I actually edited. So, you know, like you'll see with this AJ Styles attire, I edited that. But I do have custom wrestlers. It wouldn't... if your guy is on Xbox, then yes. If your guy is already on Xbox, then yes. I'm not looking to put any more guys on RCW right now, but I do have another show called Lockdown that takes place 2 years before this show before RCW is, and I'm looking for wrestlers for that show. Like, I only have like 16 versus like 100. Yeah, it's the reason why I say Xbox, because like I prefer people to already have their wrestlers. Can I make you one? Yeah, but the thing is like, it takes forever to do the movesets, and I don't like copying the movesets from other superstars, because I like superstars to have like their own finishers or their own style to them. However, like, if I do make your guy's gonna be hella detailed, because I make logos and stuff. And a lot of the custom wrestlers that I've made for this show are hella detailed. Like, all of them are, like, really detailed. So we have AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose here. We haven't seen Dean Ambrose in a while. AJ Styles, he was the former RCW Carnage champion. I believe him and Seth Rollins had a little bit of rivalry going on. He had quite a bit of an attitude, AJ, and then all of a sudden he turned his attitude around and is possibly looking to get back into the RCW Carnage title picture. That title is currently held by Shinsuke Nakamura after Shinsuke Nakamura beat Bryan Outlaw for that title. So, thanks. I appreciate that you like my hair. Actually, like, my hair's always, like, messed up, but actually, for once, it's actually not all messed up and all weird. You should see my wrestler's hair. My wrestler's hair looks nothing like mine. He looks a little bit like me, though. honestly. Which, that was kind of my goal, to try and make him look a little bit like me. So let's see if Dean Ambrose can... I was so mad when Dean Ambrose lost the title last night on Raw to Bobby Lashley. I hate Bobby Lashley. I hate Leo Rush because he's annoying. He's like really obnoxious. He's like the hype guy for Bobby Lashley, in case any of you are not familiar with what's been going on with Raw lately. But it's so annoying. Not as annoying as Ronda Rousey, though. I can't stand her, so... I honestly hope that Vince fires her. Honestly, I know that's never going to happen, but... I honestly hope that one way or another that she gets fired. And the thing is that I like about RCW, that I like about doing this show over like watching WWE, is that a lot of the superstars that you'll see on this show, and I don't mean to like totally self-promote this show and whatever, like you can think whatever you want about it, but the thing that I like about this show is Dean Ambrose goes for a crossbody and punches to the face of AJ Styles, looking to get back in this match. But the thing that I like about this show is that a lot of the superstars that don't normally get pushes on WWE television, I find a way to use them in some way. I find a more creative way to use them. And I take, and by the way, like this is a fully, I love AJ Styles. Like AJ Styles is probably one of my favorites from like TNA. I think he was from TNA. I watched a lot of his. I don't like Daniel Bryan now. I really don't. I honestly I hate his heel gimmick because I hate all environmentalists. I hate like all feminists and stuff like that. So that kind of stuff just like irritates me, and to make that part of a script is like really annoying. I just think it's. I mean, I don't mind him as heel. Like I just don't like his heel gimmick. Like I think he does it well. I just think his like total environmentalist gimmick and how he speaks the truth in the sense that we like treat the earth like crap, but honestly like I just don't like it when they bring political stuff into anything. Like when you bring politics into something or anything having to do with real world crap into something that's supposed to be strictly entertainment, like that's when I'm like, why would the writers do that? Like it's understandable if it's like if like you're a heel, for example, and you're using somebody's like past against them. Like, kind of like how Samoa Joe was like, oh, Jeff Hardy, or, like, brought up Jeff Hardy's, like, alcohol problem. Like, that was a good idea just because of, you know, being a heel. You know, like, that I'm okay with. But, like, bringing anything that has to do with political stuff, that just needs to stay out of entertainment. Because, honestly, like, I get enough of politics every day on Facebook, and I get annoyed by stupid people every day, and I don't need that in entertainment. I really don't need it on TV. Like, especially something that I love, like wrestling. I don't need it. I don't, and with all the other reality TV trash that's on TV now, like, there's already enough trash on TV. Please don't make the good things trash too by adding political affiliation with stuff. Like, I don't even like talking about it, see? Like, I don't even like talking about it because it always turns into an argument. Like, I don't mind, like, talking about, like, daily issues. Like, you know, stuff that's going on, like how, like, veterans get treated like crap and stuff like that. I don't mind talking about that stuff, but, like, when you start bringing in, like, how people, like, hate Trump and stuff like that and everything, and they start whining about it and you know, whatever, it's so annoying. Like, if I'm gonna, like, talk political, At least there's no more racism since that racist comment again. I didn't catch that racist comment against Shinsuke, but I'm pretty sure there is. And I'm pretty sure that was just a heel thing, or a person's character. I don't agree with that either. Like, you know, like, even when I make, like, for this show, for my custom wrestlers, I make tweets for them using this app called Social Dummy, and you can make, like, fake tweets, but they actually look legit. You know, for my character, Brian Outlaw, who's supposed to be myself, like, I had to actually make that character. Like, I had to actually get into character. So I basically, the way I tell people how I made that character, because everybody loves Brian Outlaw, everybody loves the Outlaws. How I made the Outlaws is I made them absolute douchebags. And so basically, what I did was I took, like, if you know me in real life, how many accidental racism is there? Like, on TV? Like, on WWE TV? I wouldn't know. Hang on, I gotta plug in my laptop real fast. But I wouldn't know, because I don't... That stuff kind of just goes over my head. But I'm surprised you actually brought that up, because I had no idea. I had nothing. I had no idea about it. But in the tweets and stuff that I make for, you know, the Outlaws, you know, like, they are just terrible people. And so everybody's like, but you're such a nice person, like, how can you be mean? You know, like, how can you be in character? And I said, because, like, the backstory for the Outlaws, a lot of it has to relate to my actual real life. So, like, since there's some people that are new to the show, the backstory of the Outlaws is that they're from Manhattan, New York. And I'm not from Manhattan, but I live in New York State. So I had to, like, so they're from Manhattan. All of them were, like, bullied in school, and then they ended up getting, homeschooled, by their mom. But their whole entire family was into wrestling, so that's how they got, and they've been wrestling ever since they were teenagers. I was never homeschooled. I kind of made that part of my life up. I was in public school, but you know, I just took sort of the traumatic parts of my life, like parts of my life that weren't like the happiest part, and made Brian Outlaw like the biggest jerk because of it. Like, and honestly, like, there's like moments where I'm like the biggest jerk ever, and honestly, I love doing it. But I only do it to people who deserve it, though. That's the thing. It's like, I won't be your typical jerk that just be's mean to people for no reason. Like, if I'm a terrible person to you, it's because I believe you are a terrible person. And I'm the whole kind of person, like, that karma, I believe in karma, so I believe whatever you say, it comes back to bite you. So, you know, that's kind of how I was raised, and that's just kind of how I am. But with Brian Outlaw, like, he just doesn't care about that stuff. He doesn't care about karma. He just does whatever he wants to do. Do I regret it sometimes? Most of the time, no. I don't. And that's not to say that I'm, like, a really mean person. But most of the time, I don't regret the stuff that I say. I've never regretted anything that I've said about my ex. I've never regretted anything that I've said about her. I've never regretted anything that I said about, you know, some of the girls that, you know, kind of stabbed me in the back in high school. I've never regretted anything that I say. You know, usually when it comes to people who have deserved it, if it was by accident, I can understand. Like, if it was in the heat of the moment, yeah. Like, I'll say stuff in like the heat of the moment, where like if I'm just already pissed off already, then somebody like gets me mad, then yeah, I'm probably gonna say something that I regret. But I believe everybody does that. When you're so mad, and then like it could be your friend, right? You could be like so mad for like whatever reason, and you could just go off on your friend. And I've done that before. I've gone off on one of my friends, and I feel so bad after it, because my anger wasn't directly directed towards them. So far we've had the Usos win the tag match, and we had Luna Outlaw win the first match. This is only the third match. But anyways, with Brian Outlaw and making him... Don't I get annoyed when someone tries so hard to please me? Yes, I really do. Like when somebody tries too hard to like make me happy, or tries too hard to like... Or, you know, or that person that literally does something to you that... like, it could be something like bad, whatever, and like they think that they can walk back into your life like nothing happened, or they want to play the victim, but they're not, and they don't take responsibility for their actions. Like, if I hurt you and you tell me that I hurt your feelings, and you tell me why I hurt your feelings, of course I'm gonna regret it. It depends on the situation, but if I offend you, like, if something that I say offends you, and, you know, this is before the world got so sensitive, but, like, if I offended somebody by something that I said, something that is logical that you would get offended by, not how the world is now, as AJ hits a phenomenal forearm, but not how the world is now, where we get offended by Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or whatever else, you know, because the world is way too sensitive now. Oh, someone who tries so hard to be your friend, yeah. I hate it when people do that, because honestly, then I get mean, because then I'm like, dude, I'm not your friend, I'll never be your friend, stop trying so hard, you know? Like, there was this one kid that I went to high school with, who, like, literally... Why are words or what words are banned? No words are banned. I mean, you can say whatever you want. I don't care. You know, as long as you don't, like, say any homophobic or racist stuff, I'm cool. But, you know, there was this one kid, and I can tell that he was the type of kid that just didn't have a lot of friends. And when you have, then why is the word... What do you mean, like, why is the F-bomb banned? What do you mean, like, on television? Or, like, just on YouTube? Or, like, just in, like, general? Like, why you can't say that? Honestly, I don't have the best mouth either. My mouth isn't the cleanest. And that's not... because I swear, it's because I say a lot of perverted and dirty things. But that's just because that's just part of my personality. And so there was this guy that always tried to try to make friends with anybody. And I felt bad for him in the sense because, you know, he was the type of guy that didn't have many friends, and now I know why. Because he just wouldn't shut up. He wouldn't, like... He was the kind of guy that just wouldn't stop talking. Like, do you have a mental hygiene? Let's take you to the dentist. Like, he just wouldn't, like, be quiet. And I'm talking, like, during class. Like, I'm talking, like, during class, he would bring up, like, The Hobbit or something, like, totally off topic. And he would, like, interrupt the whole entire class. And, you know, like, I mean, high school isn't that meaningful, but you're still there to learn, and you're still there to, like, everybody hates high school. I can't tell you, like, I didn't even like high school. Like, I liked it, but at the same time, I wanted to get out of there. After, like, school was over, I couldn't wait to get out. With college, it's different. With college, it's different. Like, I actually love being there because I'm paying to be there, and it's something that I actually want to do. Alright, I'm going to try and finish this match real quick. So allow me to do that before I continue what I was saying. But AJ Styles going for the calf crusher. I'm the type of person to say something and accidentally make a joke. Like, make a joke that you shouldn't make, that you don't realize that, and then somebody gets offended. Is that what you're kind of talking about? Because I do that all the time. AJ Styles beat Dean Ambrose. But yeah, you know, and you know, we told him that, like, in a nice way. Like, we didn't tell him, like, shut up, you know. But we would tell him, you know, like, dude, you can't be doing this. We're trying to learn, whatever. And it wasn't just me. And, like, it wasn't just me. It was, like, everybody. And this kid just wouldn't shut up. And it was really annoying. But usually, like, I'm the type of guy that doesn't get offended by anything other than the R word, which I'm not going to say it because I hate that word. But... And most of the stuff, like, I have no filter. Especially when I'm streaming. I think that's a problem. But, like, when you're, like, when I'm not, like, when I'm talking, with my friends, like, I say stuff that people overhear sometimes, and they, like, look at me like I'm, like, they look at me like, what did you just say? Kind of have that look like, what did you just say? But most of it is like guy talk. Most of it is like guy talk and how guys would talk to their guy friends. So it's like, you can't tell me you haven't heard it before, you know? But that's the kind of person I am. I'm just a funny person. No, I'm gonna say no, rabbit word. Not that word. Not that one. A way worse one. But, you know, especially when I'm with my guy friends and I'm talking about some girl that I like, a lot of times, like, I get a little too overboard. But, you know, that's just my personality. And, you know, I always tell people, like, the number one advice I have for people, like, in general, is, like, even when you want to, like, get into streaming, or, or anything where you're around people, or, you know, what, anything that's, like, sort of personality based. Like, you know, don't let anybody ever change you. I had a teacher in high school that hated me, and I knew she did. And honestly, like, in my opinion, like, this is anybody that wants to go into teaching. Like, if you're not a humorous person and you don't understand how teenagers are gonna talk, especially guys, then don't be a middle school or high school teacher. Because this teacher that I had, she was an older lady, and she was, like, more, like, old-fashioned. Like, her kids were, like, 20, 30 years old. So, you know, things are different back then. You know, 20, 30 years ago. But I was joking around with my friend, and I was clearly joking. Like, I'm a jokester. Like, you can tell when I'm joking. Like, but apparently you can't joke anymore, apparently. In this world today, you can't. Because everyone gets offended. Oh, okay. But with that said, I was joking around with my friend, and prom was coming up, and I asked him, I said, I jokingly asked, I said, any hotties you thinking of asking to prom? And I kid you not, this teacher, like, yells at me, and says, no, you don't, she literally, like, she called me out in front of the entire class. It was like, you don't talk about women that way, whatever. And it's like, I have friends who are girls that don't care. So, like, I told her, I honestly said, what did I say? Because I didn't know what she was talking about. And honestly, she was the only teacher that ever called me out on it. And the thing is like, when somebody gets offended by something you say, and it's that one person, but nobody else gets offended, nobody else calls you out on it, nobody else, then that's when that person's overly sensitive, or that's when it's their problem, not yours. So honestly, like I said, this is how I am. Like, I'm like, if you really knew me, then this is how I am, and this is how I talk, and I'm not gonna... I didn't even swear. I didn't swear in school. I didn't, like, swear. I didn't, you know, I wasn't, like, really inappropriate. I was just a guy, you know, and that's how I was. And, you know, nobody ever said anything. Like, nobody ever called me out or anything like that. And, like, I told her, I was like, this is how I am. Every single person that knows me to be a smiling, happy person, funny person. And this is how I am. So, you know, I was thinking other things in my head, like, well, you're not my mom, stop trying to be my mom. But, you know, I didn't say that. You know, there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to say to her that I didn't. So I just kind of let it go. I literally walked out because I was about to say something that I was going to regret. So usually when I do that, I walk away from that situation. I walk away from it. But then I rode the bus home, and I told my grandma what happened, and she started laughing. And my grandma's sort of like the same age as this teacher, too. But my grandma actually has a sense of humor. My grandpa's the same way, too. He's got the same sense of humor as me. Oh, you were referring to a female dog, and you said, oh, that's what a female dog is called. That's what a female dog is called. Hello? It's even in the dictionary. Look it up in the dictionary. That's what it actually means. It's actually the dictionary definition of it. So Roman Reigns is back. We got John Cena back. We have John Cena, former RCW World Heavyweight Champion. And Roman Reigns, again, my heart goes out to this guy. I've been trying to keep up with what's been going on with him. I know he's got leukemia, so I've been trying to keep up and see how he's doing health-wise. But I'd love to... I think he said he's doing alright. I think from what Chris Jericho had said, that he talked to him, and he said that he's doing okay. So, I can't wait to see All Elite Wrestling, AEW. It's this new wrestling promotion that's like outside of WWE. They still need a TV deal. They still need like a way to broadcast their network or their show. But I'm excited to see what happens. And I hope it's not PG. I hope it's a TV-14. Because if it's TV-14 wrestling, then I'll actually watch it. I watch WWE, but honestly, if it's like actually TV-14, and if it's actually like another Attitude Era or if the way they do the show is a little different than the way WWE does it, then I might actually like it a little bit more. This is a tables match, by the way, so gotta put your opponent through a table. If you guys remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but it was a historic match between John Cena and AJ Styles, the one where John, like, won. Like, even after, like, 3 Styles clashes or something like that. for some reason, and he won still. Is it just me, or does anybody else think John looks so weird with, like, that haircut that he has? Looking for the spear here on John Cena. Spear on John Cena. No, that's a reversal. I thought he actually connected on that one. Can I get something else from underneath the ring? Or no? No? Okay. They call him Big Match John for a reason. Now, I'm looking for guys to go up against Shinsuke Nakamura. You know, because obviously we have Brian Outlaw and Jason Outlaw in the tag team division. And, you know, we have Randy Orton as our RCW World Champion. And so, you know, every once in a while I'll do certain matches to have to figure out storylines. So maybe we'll see Roman Reigns and Shinsuke go at it, or maybe both John Cena and Roman Reigns versus Shinsuke. Who knows? I have no idea. That remains to be seen. But you know, it works. I hope they bring the payback system back in 2K20. That's one of the things that I want to, that I forgot to mention in my video. Because I like that. I think it's a great new addition, and I think it's really cool. With a back body drop to Roman Reigns and John Cena, Big Match John looking to... Oh, I thought he was going to do an AA. An AA on Roman Reigns. But it's not through a table, though. Uh-oh. Almost got put through a table. Roman Reigns trying to get pumped up a little bit. Now, comeback for John Cena. Good thing he's on the outside, though. I can't reverse anything right now, because... Oh, I can? How? I had the reversal buff. I shouldn't have been able to. And slamming Roman Reigns' face into the apron. No disqualifications, though, so that works in the favor of both men. Tossing Roman back into the ring, and that table is still up. Reversal on Roman Reigns. I thought that would have counted. It looked like... That was kind of weird. I thought that would have counted. But the table's got to break. Can I do the Superman punch? Is the Superman punch a running it? Alright, can I... Okay, I need to... Oh, I want to do this. I want to do it. And a headbutt to John Cena. Oh, this is gonna be good. Dragging John Cena to where the table's at. Lifting John Cena up. This will be very interesting. We might see a spear through the table. Can I do this? Oh, this will be so cool. If I'm able to hit this. I can't do it? Why not? Why not? Why can't I do it? Oh, I have to do running. Okay. I want to do it. Does he have table finisher? Does he have that skill? That's the thing. Does he have it? Yes, he does. But why couldn't I do it before? Do I have to like be right up on him? I'm gonna end up losing this match if I don't figure out. Reversal. I need to do the table finisher. Hello. I'm trying to do it and it's not letting me. All right. I guess I can't do it in the corner. I can lift it. If I can lift John up and do this. No! Stop reversing everything I do, John, please. I love you, John Cena, but stop reversing everything that I do. 5 knuckles shuffle. Come on. Come on, Johnny. I guess John has a new finisher now. It's like the... I forget what it's called. Something fist. It's kind of dumb. I honestly prefer the AA. Like his older finisher. And reversal again by John Cena. Reversal again by Roman Reigns. Uh-oh. No. Come on, John. Don't. Okay. I actually reversed that. I didn't think I was going to. There you go. I didn't think I was going to. Oh no. A reversal. Big boot to John Cena. I think Roman's looking to finish this. Sets John right up for it. Uh-oh. What's he doing here? Shield powerbomb. Powerbomb through the table. Roman Reigns wins. I definitely want to start using Roman a little bit more. For sure. Because he's one of my favorites, even though everyone boos him. But everyone was crying as soon as he announced his leukemia diagnosis. That's the thing. Everybody boos him because of the booking. Because of the way he's booked. That's why everyone boos him. Look at this. Beautiful power bomb through the table. See you later, John Cena. If you can't see me. If you can see me, but... that'll definitely help Roman out. In whatever title he decides to go after. Whether it's the Carnage title or the World title. I think Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. That would be a great matchup. Either way, that would be a great matchup. Shinsuke versus Roman. Whatever it is, we have Randy Orton, our brand new RCW World Champion, after beating Jason Outlaw in a very dominant fashion in a first blood match. Now, I have this idea for the next pay-per-view, and I want to see if I can actually do it. And I want to see if you guys would actually be interested. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Elimination Chamber match, where 6 men, 6 to 8, well, I think there's like 6 to 8 men. It also can be women. 6 to 8 men or women in little pods, and every minute they come out. And the last one to get eliminated, it's like an elimination sort of match. If you get pinned, you get eliminated, and it continues to go until everyone is eliminated, and there is except for one person. I think that would be very interesting. Because I've never done it yet. So, I've never even done it in the game. I've never even played it. as a match. Apparently Randy Orton says he's not stopping for anybody. Typical Randy Orton, though. He is the apex predator, after all. And the Viper, so he strikes whenever he wants. I can't stand all of the pitiful imbeciles in the locker room behind my back like a bunch of juvenile teenagers. It's maddening. I will not be insulted by my peers. This stops tonight. Well, he is heel, I remember, because I wanted to make him... The reason why I made him heel is because he's actually heel in real life, so... I want my name in the company name. I want billboards, a raise, private jets. I want to be treated like a king. Well, you don't necessarily get treated that way, Randy. Nobody gets treated. That's it. So stick that wherever you please, you dumb idiots. I'm going to get what I want, and if I don't, there will be hell to pay. Okay, Randy. All right, Randy. All right, Randy. Say whatever you want. Preach to the choir. Come on. Alright, I'm done with you people. I've already given you more time and more energy than you deserve. So from the bottom of my heart, from me to you, you're welcome. Alright. Randy Orton, very confident. Ever since he got that RCW World title at the pay-per-view, at least I think I've seen a new side to Randy Orton I've never seen before. But I believe we have... Yes, The Undertaker versus the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, in a Falls Count Anywhere. Now, The Undertaker, I asked him about his tag team matchup with Kane, his brother of destruction, for the tag team titles that was at the Crusade pay-per-view. And he told me that he didn't really see a tag team title future for him. He'd rather go for a world title. He'd rather go for a singles title. So that could either be the Carnage title or the world title. So that would be very interesting. And can you imagine The Undertaker in a 6-man Elimination Chamber match? That would be insane. So you know what? I think we are going to do that. So it's only episode 12. So probably the last like 3 or 2 episodes of the regular like season before we hit episode 20, which is the pay-per-view. I think those we're going to do qualifying matches. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do one-on-one qualifying matches for all 6 men. And we might do that for the women too. I don't know. I might do something else for the women, but I think it would be kind of cool just to have something new, a new match type. And I'm always looking for new ways to make the show better, so I think that would be kind of cool to see The Undertaker as one of the men, and as one of the potential men, I should say, in that matchup. Whether it's for the RCW World title or the RCW Carnage title, remains to be seen. But I think it'll be for the world title. I think that's what I'm aiming for the world title. So let me know what you guys think of that idea. I think it'll be good because I've never done it yet. And I always like trying new match types. And that's why I utilize the custom matches. And that's why in 2K20 I wanted more like options for... I hope to get more options as far as like what I can do for custom matches, because it would be so fun to do that. And we have the big man, the monster among men, Braun Strowman. I was kind of mad that he got stripped of the match between Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble, and now the Undertaker can't even take him down, and the big monster among men just tossing the Undertaker. Now, you can hear the chants of Undertaker by the RCW Universe. Now, the reason why I chose this matchup is because I wanted to... I love the Undertaker, first of all. I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't like him. But Can you imagine these two behemoths going up against each other? I mean, Braun Strowman is a big dude. The Undertaker is a ruthless guy. So, oh, it didn't even take Braun Strowman down. It looked like those strikes didn't even phase the Monster Among Men. And DDT to Braun Strowman. What a victory this would be to knock off the Monster. And like I said, you know, stuff that I'm planning out, it's always meant to be changed. But the good news is, nothing else is changing for Season 4. As far as, you know, logos and stuff, like everything else is going to stay the same. Again, this is Falls Count Anywhere, no disqualifications, no countouts. So the referees definitely got to... The Undertaker looking to use a chair on Braun Strowman and uses a chair on Braun. If there's one thing that can get Braun down, it's any weapon you can use. So if the rules call for it, definitely use it. But Braun able to reverse. And the Undertaker has eyes in the back of his head, but Braun looking... The Undertaker looking for a choke slam there. Uh-oh. And punishing the Undertaker. I don't think I've ever seen the Undertaker get beat up like this since the loss of for Brock Lesnar, which probably shouldn't have happened, in my opinion. Looking for... Oh! I thought he was going for a chokeslam there. Looked like a power bomb of some sort. Slamming the Undertaker down. But a comeback, though, for the Undertaker. However, the big man Braun able to intercept it, but the Undertaker rolling outside to the apron. Lost the opportunity at a comeback, but it's okay. Because he is the Undertaker after all. The Undertaker getting a little tired out here. Undertaker got to watch the stamina. He is an older man after all. You know, he's not like he used to be. And now, Braun Strowman got a hurt back there a little bit. And a neck breaker from a dead man, the Undertaker. Allowing Strowman to get back to his feet. Uh-oh. And a choke slam to Braun Strowman. Imagine if that actually happened in real life. I want to see this match happen. I'd love to see The Undertaker come back and battle Braun Strowman, dude. That'd be so fun. I know he's an old guy, but still. I always get pumped because it's The Undertaker, and that's just how he is. Taking Braun Strowman out to the outside. This is completely legal. Falls Count Anywhere. Now working on the announce table. As Braun tries to get back to his feet. Undertaker helping him out a little bit. I'm dragging him out. Oh no. We've seen the Undertaker do this before. And the Undertaker, is this going to be a... Oh, no. Tombstone. Tombstone through the announce table. Jesus. I don't think I've ever seen it before in a pin on Braun. And Braun kicked out. I don't know how he did, but he kicked out anyway. Resiliency. The payback, though. Most wrestlers would have been done after that. Now Braun looking to get back in this match. But the Undertaker won't allow him. And another DDT to Braun Strowman. Oh no, looking for another choke slam. Choke slam on Braun. Now he's motionless. The big man is motionless. The Undertaker isn't done though. Doing redecorating to the other announce table. We have 2 in here for this exact reason. More memorable moments. And a headbutt to the Undertaker. Now both men going towards that announce table, and the Undertaker takes the big man down. Oh no, not again. Are we going to see it again? Another tombstone. Another tombstone to Braun Strowman. And the Undertaker wins. The dead man put the big man in his coffin. Undertaker one step ahead of the big man, Braun. Able to come out with the victory. I can assure you we haven't seen the last of these 2 men. Definitely want to use these guys a little bit more too as well. Let me know what you guys think about the 6-man Elimination Chamber match. I think that's what I'm going to go with as far as like one of the pay-per-view matches. There it is, the famous lighting. Can you imagine if we have Randy Orton, The Undertaker, Braun Strowman, and then we have 3 other men in the same ring with them? And that's only if they earn qualifying spots. But hypothetically, having The Undertaker, Randy Orton, and Braun Strowman in the same ring, plus 3 other men, that's a match for the ages. That would be... and a first ever Elimination Chamber match here on RCW would be great. I think it would be fun. It's a new match type that I've never like tried to do. I'm pretty sure, I think it was in WWE 2K18. I just didn't do it. I don't think. But it would be very interesting, and I think it would be very fun because I've never done it. And, you know, I would do a Royal Rumble, but that's like 30 men. I think you can do less than that. But I don't want to do less than that because I don't want to go away from tradition, you know. I don't want to like go away from the stuff that everybody remembers, like a 30-man Royal Rumble match. I don't want to like lessen it because the Royal Rumble is like one of the biggest and most memorable matches in the history of wrestling. So not having it be 30 men or 30 women would be bad. So I'm probably definitely going to do that 6-man Elimination Chamber. Like I said, I'll probably start doing the qualifying matches for the spots in the Elimination Chamber match. And it'll be really fun. I think everyone will like it. I think it'll be something that's kind of new, and you know, lots of good storylines could come out of it. You know, maybe we even have Miles Anderson in it. You know, wouldn't that be cool? Have Miles Anderson in it. Obviously, he has that rivalry going on with Chris Danger right now. In case you haven't already known that by this point, but I don't know. It would be interesting. You know, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely something to think about, for sure. And I honestly cannot wait for that. We'll have Lockdown probably come back on Friday, because I haven't done it in a while, and normally that's what I would do on a Friday, is Lockdown, and I haven't done it. I think I already have the card set up for it, so I think that's all set in stone. I think that's all good. I want to make sure that that's all good. I think we're just going to go back to what we were used to doing, which was the RCW episodes, like 2 episodes of RCW per week, or maybe even 1, and then 2 episodes of Lockdown. But I think we're just going to do the 2 episodes for RCW Monday and Wednesday, and then Friday we'll do the Lockdown. Kind of like we were doing before. Let me know, like, if you want your wrestler added. Preferably, like, if you're on Xbox, I would highly prefer you to be on Xbox, because that means that all I have to do is go down to the community creations and download your wrestler. I don't have to do anything else. You would just have to tell me whether or not they are face or heel. Right now I'm not looking to add any of the new wrestlers to the main show, RCW, but I need more wrestlers for Lockdown, so I'm definitely looking for that. I don't mind making people wrestlers, it's just that it takes a little bit. The movesets take forever to do, and I do custom movesets, but I can tell you this. If I do decide to make you a wrestler, like I said before, to one of the fans, Bear, it'll be hella detailed. It'll be really detailed, in the sense, like, your attire is gonna be great, your entrance is gonna be great, stuff like that. All you have to do to really, is tell me, like, your personality of your wrestler, like your character per se. Like, you could be a heel and be a person that uses weapons, or be a heel and has a manager that cheats, and helps you win matches, or you can be a face and be very perseverant, and you also have to tell me your promo attitude. Like, are you arrogant? Are you whatever? Or whatever. Because essentially all I'm doing is making your wrestler, in the sense, like, making them, like, editing their appearance. But you're in charge of the character, because it's your character, so I can't make that for you. In the sense, like, I can't make your wrestling persona. Like, that is your job to do that. I can, like, give you suggestions on what would be good, depending on face or heel, depending on what, if you either choose to be a good guy or a bad guy. Because I've watched wrestling enough to know what it's like to know what it means to be a good heel and to be a good face. I think Paige was a good babyface. I feel like when she first debuted, she was a really good babyface. I also think she was a good heel. I also, like, are you The Rock? Like, Are you, you know, are you Stone Cold or are you The Rock? You know, like those are guys that were really good at what they did, whether they were face or heels. I think Stone Cold was a heel most of the time. And you know, those guys had very distinctive personalities, very distinctive characters, and that's what I loved about them, and that's what I want your wrestlers to be. Like, your wrestler can be similar to a character. I mean, every other wrestler that you watch bases their wrestling persona on some wrestler that they watched when they were kids. So, you know, if you have a particular wrestler that you would like to sort of base your character off of, and I know who they are, it'll be a lot easier for me to do that. But if you're just looking for a very unique character, all you got to do is let me know, like, what color hair your wrestler has, if it's a female character, like what type of mascara or whatever, and the personality of your wrestler. Also, you gotta let me know the names of your finishers and signatures. Like, do you have a name for your finishers and signatures? And that's it. And if you want a logo made for your wrestler, I can do that too. That's just gonna take me a little bit, but I can do that too. If you want it to be like more personal, I guess. Like, kind of like I did with the Outlaws, I did all of their logos. Like, I did, all of them have their own logo. But with that said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of RCW. I can't wait to do the next pay-per-view, which is Forsaken. Also, for those of you that are new that have never, you know, watched the show before, I told a little bit in the beginning, but I never said anything about when seasons end. So when seasons like end, or when the first half is done, like the first half is the first 10 episodes, and every 10th episode is a pay-per-view, and so you got 2 pay-per-views a season. So it's 20 episodes long. I take a little bit of a break, maybe about a couple weeks or maybe a week or 2, depending on if I'm sick or if I got anything going on, like in terms of college work or just random stuff. And then, because I want to give people time to catch up on the episodes that they've missed, if they've missed any. In case you do miss any of it, even if you miss a minute of a match or 2 minutes of a match, I would just highly recommend and watch the whole thing when you have time. That's why I stream on YouTube, stream on Mixer, stream on Twitch. You know, that's why I do what I do. And also, I have them broadcast, the past broadcast feature on. So for a full 60 days, I believe I can keep my broadcast on there. So you can watch it all the way through. But it's also on my YouTube channel, too, as a video. And they all go in a playlist in chronological order after the fact. So you can watch the show wherever you are in the show. You can watch it chronologically, just like you would any of your other TV shows on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. So you can do that. Right after a season ends, like episode 20, the season's done. I usually take a couple weeks of break, sort of like the same way I do with the first half. So depending on, like I said, what I have going on, I usually take a couple weeks. And the reason is I have to write storylines, I have to think of storylines for next season. And I also like to give my viewers a little bit of time to catch up on stuff, because not everybody is able to catch the streams when they are live. Not everybody's got stuff that they need to do, and not everybody's able to catch them when they're live. So I'd like to give my viewers a little bit of time to watch the episodes that they've missed. So, if you have any suggestions regarding storylines, if you watch the show, like, obviously you gotta watch the show to really know what's going on with storylines and stuff. But if you have an idea for a storyline, whether it's with your custom superstar or with a wrestler that's already in-game, whether it's the Outlaws, the wrestlers that are generated in-game, like the actual wrestlers that are as part of the in-game roster, or anything like that, feel free to message me on Twitter. My Twitter is in the Twitch panels. It's also on my YouTube channel as well. I think there's like a little link to it. You can also message me if you don't use Twitter, but you use Facebook. You can also message the Ravage Championship Wrestling Facebook page. I have a show specifically geared to this Facebook page, and I just post entrances that I make, logos that I make for the wrestlers, you know, stuff that I edit together just for fun for the show. You know, you'll see some video packages sometimes that I edit together, you know, anything that's having to do with the show or its roster members. Feel free to like that page. If you don't use Facebook, that's okay too. But even if you don't use Facebook, you can still go on that Facebook page and look at it. Like, you just won't be able to like it. And obviously have it show up in your newsfeed. Because when you like a page, every post that they make shows up in your newsfeed. Pretty much, I try to keep that page updated. So other than my Twitter and Instagram and stuff, I always try to keep that page updated. I haven't really posted on there in a while. Maybe it's because I haven't found anything to post. Like, I won't just post random stuff on there just because I don't have anything to post. So if I don't post anything, I'll tell you some of the things I usually post on there. I usually post pay-per-view times. Like, I'll post it in the events thing. Pay-per-view times and dates. Season premieres, I'll do that too. Signings. So if we have a new wrestler coming to the roster, either a wrestler that I've made or a wrestler that's in-game that I just haven't used yet on the show, I'll make a post about that as well. Or if something happens on Twitter, on the little like fake Twitter stuff that I do for the show, I'll post that too as well. So anything basically that's having to do with this show gets put on there. So it's just another way to keep up with the show if you really like it, besides watching every single stream. Because obviously I'm not going to show the entrances or mostly any of the fake tweet stuff that on stream. I will talk about it because it's an app on my phone and I can easily pull it up. But I usually don't show that stuff on stream. I just do the episode like I just did now. Yeah. That's pretty much how the show goes for those of you that are new. I've been doing the show since last August, and it's been fun. Last thing that I'm going to say is, in the case of the new game dropping, so when we get to 2K20, like, which I would imagine, like, depending on where we are with the show come August, I'll probably end the show late August to September. Not like end the show permanently, but I want to try to, wherever we're at, whether it's Season 6, Season 7, Season 8, Season 10, Season whatever, I want to try and end that particular season a couple weeks before the next game drops. Before, like, 2K20, 2K21, whatever. And then I will wait until the next game drops, because then I have to make everything again. Like, I have to make all the wrestlers again. I have to make new storylines, obviously. I have to and with every new game comes new features, so I have to figure out the new features, like stuff that I can do for the show in universe mode, because this is all in universe mode. So I bet we're gonna have some new features in 2K20 that we're not gonna have in this game. So I'll have to like create the arenas and stuff like that. With the pay-per-views, I usually wait for the pay-per-views because I have to come up with names for them, and then I have to do logos for them. So I'll have to make the wrestlers, I'll have to make their movesets, and all that stuff. Not every wrestler, I can tell you this, not every wrestler that you see right now on this roster is going to come back in 2K20. Like, right away, at least. So, dominantly, I probably would want to create the Outlaws, because they're a big part of the show. So, I would want to create them first before any other wrestlers. So, if you don't see Jax Donovan, who we're going to have debut in a little bit, or if you don't see Violet Knight yet, or, who else? I'm trying to think who else I made. Noelle Diamond, or, you know, some of the wrestlers that I actually took the time to make. Like, if you don't see any of the other wrestlers other than the Outlaws on RCW that aren't in-game, that I actually have created, don't get discouraged, because it doesn't necessarily mean that they're gone for forever. It just means that I need to spend time to create those wrestlers again. So if you don't see Miles Anderson right away in 2K20, if you don't see, you know, Jax Donovan or Violet Knight or Mercy Phantom or any of the wrestlers that I made, like, don't get scared. That doesn't mean that they're gone. That just means I have to make them again, you know? That's fine. I wish there was another way to do it, like transfer the wrestlers that you have made, like, into the next game. Like, that'd be so much easier. But I don't think there is, unless I'm missing something. So that's really how it goes. So that's pretty much the timeline for the next episodes or so for the show. Like I said, I'm probably going to end the 2K19 cycle around the end of August, early September, because the game comes out early in October every year. So I'll have the game pre-ordered. You bet your butt I'll have the game pre-ordered. So I'll have the game pre-ordered, all ready to go. And then I'll spend all day making the wrestlers and making the show again. The good news is we won't have any new logos or anything, so I would just need to upload them using the 2K uploader website, and we'll create the arena again. No issue there. But that's just sort of where the timeline of the show's going. In case you don't really know where that's going. But feel free to follow the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you're on YouTube, that would be subscribe to the channel. If you want to subscribe on Twitch, I can't yet because I don't have an affiliate yet, but once I reach there, you'll be able to sub on Twitch if you feel so inclined to want to sub to the channel. But if you enjoy what you see, definitely click that follow button because I mostly stream wrestling stuff. I stream other games here and there, but most of my following has come from wrestling. It has come from the wrestling RCW lockdown stuff, all that stuff. So most of my following has come from there. So feel free to follow the channel or subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way that you know when I'm live. I stream on YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer. So if you have multiple accounts for multiple like streaming platforms. Like if you have an account for Twitch, or if you have an account for, you know, YouTube and Twitch, like I have an account for Twitch and YouTube. I don't usually follow like YouTube streamers. I usually don't watch streams on YouTube, but I have an account for YouTube and Twitch. So if you have an account for both and you just want to follow the channel on both, I don't know why you would, but if you want to do that, then I'm not going to stop you from doing it. Any way that you support the channel it means a lot, because that means that you love the show, and that means the work that I put into the show is meaningful, you know what I mean? Because I spent a lot of time creating the storylines and making the show. Like, honestly, in all honesty, my college professors are probably going to kill me for saying this, but they're not going to know. But I spend more time on the show than I do on my college work sometimes. Not to say that I'm a bad college student, because I'm not, but I spend either just as much time on my college work as I do on this show. And when I'm done with my college work, I'm always thinking about stuff on the show, because I'm always talking to my friends about the show, because they watch the show too and they like the show. So, you know, I'm always thinking of storylines, writing scripts, and by the way, I rarely write any of that stuff down. For any of you guys that wonder if I write any of this stuff down, I don't. They're all in my head. The only stuff I write down is the results of the matches. So, like, after the stream is over, I go in and I go, Luna Outlaw versus Sasha Banks. Luna Outlaw won. And then, if it's a special type of match, like Falls Count Anywhere, I put that there. Like, Falls Count Anywhere, W, whoever won. And if there's a run-in that takes place, I put that down. And it's all on a piece of paper that I just write just to keep track of who won what. But all the storylines, they're all in my head. I usually don't gotta write them down. I usually have scenarios. And the funny thing is I have multiple scenarios for the same storylines. So if hypothetically, if the storyline that I have going on right now with Jason Outlaw and Brian Outlaw as a tag team, they're brothers and they're a tag team right now. So if they decide to win the tag team titles and go on a run, then I decide halfway through that I want them to lose the titles at some point, then I'll do that, you know. So I think of, or if I want them to keep the titles for months and months and months and months and months, and for them to just go on a tear and be the longest reigning tag team champions of all time, then I will do that too. So there's multiple scenarios. I always like to think of multiple scenarios for the same storyline. So just in case if I lose on accident, and that's happened sometimes in RCW. So that's happened sometimes where I intend to win a match, but I don't because the game screws me over or something, or I'm an idiot and I don't reverse something when I need to. So I always think of multiple different scenarios, and that's what makes RCW fun, is it's multiple scenarios. It's never set in stone. It's not like WWE where it's set in stone, where it's planned months before, or where it's, you know, set in stone and nothing changes. You know, and I feel like that's a good thing, because then it never gets boring. You know what I mean? Like the actual show never gets boring because it's always different. It's the possibility of something happening is always different, and I love hearing people give me predictions of what they think is gonna happen. And a lot of times I'll have, like, my friends say, you know, what's going to happen on the next episode? And I don't tell them because, you know, I treat it like they're another audience member. So I'm like, I can't tell you that. You gotta watch it. You know, I can't tell you that, you know? So it's pretty fun. And, you know, being able to bring enjoyment to wrestling fans is really fun. So, you know, it's something that I love to do. And I'm happy that you guys enjoy it as much as I love making it, because otherwise I wouldn't spend hours and hours of my life doing it. Like, I could spend 2 hours streaming the show, but I'm spending maybe like 10, 15 hours. Like, I'll tell you guys one quick story. When this game came out, I think it was October 9th of last year, the game came out. I stayed up till midnight for this game to come out. So I stayed up till midnight, all the way to 5:30 in the morning, making this show. Making the arena, making the titles. I didn't make all the wrestlers yet. But I made the titles. I made some of the wrestlers. And I made basic storylines, basic scripts, basic storylines. And I stayed up all the way through from 12 in the morning to 5 a.m. to 5:30. Funny thing is I had class the next morning. But that's when I lived at the suites on campus, so I was a walk over. And as long as I have coffee, I don't need sleep. I'm fine. So it was alright. But that's how much I love this show. Just if that doesn't prove that enough to you, then I don't know what will. But anyways, I'm gonna hop off here. The next show that we got is Lockdown, and that's gonna be on Friday. And a little reminder that is 2 years before this show happens. It's a separate universe mode. I still need wrestlers for it. I think I have a total of 16 to 20 wrestlers on the roster. The thing is, we can't use WWE superstars. We can use wrestlers that are in a different promotion. So we can use like Nick Aldis and, you know, guys from ROH, or, you know, guys from TNA. So we can use those guys, but we can't use WWE superstars besides Paige and Seth Rollins, because they played a role in the Outlaws backstory, because that show is based on the Outlaws. So, you know, there's Sky, there's Jason, there's Brian, and there's, is that it? And Luna. So, those 4 people, they have to be in those matches, and there's no normal matches allowed besides tag team matches. And there's titles, there's different titles for the show, so there's like MWE, Manhattan Wrestling Entertainment. So there's like new titles, it's a whole new thing. It's less in-depth than RCW is, but it's another wrestling show that I made, that's sort of like a spin-off, if you will, to RCW, if you want to call it that. So feel free to check that out. I'll be going live, let's see, probably, it's a Friday. See, my mother's off that day. So, let's see. Trying to think. Maybe 4 o'clock that day. Now, it's kind of iffy on Fridays, because, like, you know, I don't really know what time I get home on Friday, because my mother works, and she's the one that picks me up from college, so I don't know. So Fridays will be kind of iffy, but Mondays and Wednesdays, I'll start at 2, and aim for maybe a 4 o'clock to 4:30ish, maybe even 5 o'clock stream start time for Fridays. I'll definitely edit that schedule in the Twitch panel so that everybody gets updated for that. But that's what we got going for Friday, so I'll see you guys on Friday for Lockdown. And in case you miss any of this, again, I'll say it again. I've said it multiple times before. You can catch it either on my Twitch after, if you use the past broadcasts, and you can go through the videos and you can watch it there. Or you can choose the easier way, which I think is the easier way, going to my YouTube channel, BGX Plays, and go into the playlists. And you'll see Ravish Championship Wrestling Season 1, Season 2, Season 3. And it'll be added to the playlist. Please be aware that it takes a little bit to process. YouTube takes a little bit to process 2-hour streams, an hour worth streams, whatever, what have you. So the stream might be up, but it might only be 41 minutes processed. So it takes a little bit to process the full 2 hours or the full hour and 40 minutes or whatever the heck it is. So be aware of that. And I'm pretty sure for those of you that use YouTube, you already know that. Even if you don't upload stuff, you probably already know that it takes a little bit to, you know, get up there. Click the notifications button if you want to be notified whenever I go live, and that includes YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, whatever, so you don't miss a minute of the show. But if you miss a minute of the show, if you miss a match and you really wanted to see that match, don't fret, don't be mad, don't be mad at yourself. You can always check it out after the fact, and that's the reason why I do it the way I do it, so people can still enjoy the show if they can't make it while it's actually live streaming. So but anyways, I'll catch you guys on Friday for Lockdown.